Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Contact Lost, where we are getting geared up for Pyra Cup Nations, which is next weekend, the 23rd and 24th of February. And my guest today is Zeka, captain of Team France. Hello.
Hello, Joker. Nice to be there.
Yeah, very nice to have you. So, first of all, I would like to thank our sponsors and subscribers and Patreons, most of all, for supporting the channel. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. And yeah, let's jump right into it. So I'm actually going to start with a little bit of, I think, trash talk, although I'm not exactly in the loop. So we've got a couple of questions from our Discord, and one of them is asked by Pumba: why does nobody in France have any Chaos Bikers?
That's a good point. I mean, we don't paint that much unless we are forced to do that. And I think French are lazy, and before they want to paint or assemble anything, they said we should ask Pumba. So I say, yeah, just ask Pumba.
Makes sense.
That's fair.
Makes perfect sense. I also usually end up borrowing models for tournaments, so perfectly understandable. Right. So first off, how did you become the French team captain?
Well, we have kind of a thing that's running from several years now in France, where we have different leagues. We have a League 3, League 2, and League 1. And when you're on the League 1, there's 6 teams. And the four main, so the 4 teams that score the most over the year, get to face each other at the beginning of the year, beginning of the season. This year it was in October. And these 4 best team get to have a tournament, and the team who won the tournaments become the captain of the Team France. So now, yes, from October to July, August, set the team and select who he wants in the team. Before that was the captain won that would basically bring his own team. But since 2 years now, we are trying to pick players from a bit every team to get the best roster and just try to work together to set the best team.
So it's not your team that's coming next week to Poland. Not not that
Depends.
team from.
I could bring my team, but they're not good enough. No, actually, it's gonna be two player from. It's gonna be 2 player from my team. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good stuff. Right, and the how does the season in France work then? Is it like from September to say July, like in line with the WTC,
No, it's
as
earlier.
sort of a preparation for it, or
That's
is it
earlier.
somewhat different?
So the what we call the Big Four, so the 4 main teams happen somewhere in October. But the League One, because there's 3 leagues, the League One, League Two, and League Three happen between November and should end up somewhere March or April. So like basically between May or October, we are free to do whatever we want.
Oh, okay. So it's not the whole like year; it's much shorter.
No. We have a lot of
Yep.
solo tournament and team tournaments outside of the season, but this is 2 main events. This is the League One. I would say that the when you go alley like one way and the other way, you have two events.
Mm. Okay. And how does it actually work in terms of teams? Is it like individual tournament scoring, but just people are signed up to teams and then those scores are added somehow? Or do you have a lot of team events that work this out?
For the league itself.
Hmm.
You basically subscribe your team member at the beginning of the season. You minimum is 8, but we basically have 10 to 12 for the League One, because the League Two and League Three they are in team of 6. I guess they are a team of 6, so some bit less. But for League One, we just subscribe to a team, and you have to play with the team over the seasons. I mean, you can't just swap from one team to another over the year. So we have six main team in the League One. Each of them are about 8 to 10 player. So that's 60 player, which are kind of the best player in France. Some of the greatest players are in the League Two. But you basically subscribe to the team. You have one match who's happened. The first match happened in January. The second match happened in April. And basically, you have a ranking for the best team to the number 6 team.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it sounds like it's very well organized. So is there like a really big player base participating in all those free leagues?
I think altogether, if I'm not mistaken, no, we have about 60 to 70 teams in total. But I think you can subscribe as maybe like 1,000 something. There's really a lot of players, And yeah, at the end of the season, basically the 4 best team may remain in the League One and can participate in the Big Four, which is gonna be the event that nominate the captain of the French team. But the 2 less scoring team get to face the best scoring team of the League Two in a playoff. So there's one additional event, and then on the playoffs, there's 4 or 5 teams, and the 2 best teams get to go level on League One, and the team who lose will go to League Two.
I love that. And is there like an organization that actually keeps all of that in check? I think there is, right? In France, you were like the
Yes,
first
there's one.
country to get an organized, like formalized.
It's called FEC 40K. It's like Federation something to represent the France team up to the end of the event. It's called FEC 40K. It's got Discord. Manuel, you have seen him a lot. He's world famous. He's really helping in a lot of events. The RTC included. He has been really invested into the World Cup tournament as well from Games Workshop. He's trying to organize a lot of things. So yeah, he's a huge fact that him and his team a huge fact that we can do all these kind of events because they also are a big base of referee that are there in every event. So that's really help.
Yeah, I remember at the WTC. There was quite a big contingent of French referees.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually this WTC I saw the War Master, half of the people who subscribe to the War Master are French. So we're gonna have ever more French. Yeah, because it's in Belgium, so it's really close by.
Yeah, maybe after it moves to Austria, then there will be less of the Frenchies around.
Yes,
but you've
I
had
guess.
so many referees, so why didn't you win the tournament?
They weren't on our table. No, the fact is actually there has been a message that there was no French referee for our table, so we didn't. So that may be why. Sorry. That's I think that's the purpose. That's why we lose. We didn't win. That's this year. That's for sure.
Okay. So did you have any takeaways from that event? Anything that you have, I don't know, changed maybe in terms of preparation so far?
From the WTC from last year? Well, we changed a lot of things. First off, that we went on the beginning of the 10th edition. So we had to test a lot of things, like everyone. And we couldn't test everything to a real extent, and went a bit more less prepared that we wanted to into preparing our matchup. So I said we know what's where our estimate in each of the matchup, but we are working a lot of the feeling for most of them, where we should have a bit more strategy about who we should put in first defense, second defense, third defense, who we should chase, who we should flip, and we're more about just feeling like this goes this way, this goes this way. Maybe we did a lot of individual training, but we're lacking of the pairing experience on the 10th edition. And I think it's something we're working a bit more right now this year.
Okay, great. So what are your confidence levels for Pyra?
Pyra, I like the fact that we are the outsider. I mean, I think this year we brought only people who have a strong experience in tournaments. intershort tournament and so on. So there's many former people from the French team. We have two, I think we have one or two newcomers this year. Yeah. But I think we're gonna bring up something which is safe, but we want to test out two new things. So we are curious about what's the meta post data slates, because we did some scrim, we did a lot of 2 or 3 scrim, we did some training. We want to know what's going on in the USA side, in England, Poland, what you're playing again with. So yeah, curious about that.
Sure. And what was I going to say? So this team that's coming in, is that like your final team, or is it still part of the team selection phase?
No, this year I made something which is a bit more extensive, because I have a year where I pick up basically 30 players starting October. So I wanted to have a large pool of players on different type of play style, codexes, and also different leagues, even the one which are not in League One, because I wanted to see people who are a bit more creative. I want to see a bit more creativity in the list instead of. It's really easy to set up a list and try out, but I like to have someone who try out new unit, new play style. And so I have a strong core of players who have been there for about the last years, but I wanted to bring new people. So we have 30 players, and we started by doing a lot of scrims. I think we did 7 scrim. We did early October. We did Spain, Sweden, Australia, Norway. Then we had a break because we were the first event of the League One in January. Then we're starting again here. Now we are playing against Belgium. We're gonna have Switzerland. I think we have Luxembourg just after that. Pyra. Then we have again Netherlands and England. So the first phase, I call it 3 phases. The first phase of 30 players shall end up somewhere on the 21st of February. From there, I'm going to narrow to 20 players. And up to somewhere April or May, I'm going to narrow to 8 players. So I guess I'll have my team somewhere beginning of May. Perfect for do boot camp of training and be maybe the second Pyra, second ATC, and so on.
Okay. So what are your expectations of the guys that are coming to Pyra?
What do you mean? We're just coming to win. We won't come. No, my expectation is like what I expect from them is I want the estimate to be as close as possible. So I don't want like to have guess. I think it's 90% in the 10th edition. I think 90% of the work is being done before the event on pairing and what you know about what's going to happen. And based on that, you know where you want to build your roster. You want to chase someone, you want to build around specific players, specific codexes. So I guess unless there's some matchup we want to take risk, if we have if we have the right roster and the right estimates, I think we shouldn't combo. And that's what I'm looking for. So if we made the right work before coming, I think we can make a great job. What may happen is that says meta we don't know, codex we didn't try, or some kind of estimate we are not sure about. But we made a method in place to be sure that we work on estimate before building lists. We work on kind of the meta matrix before saying, hey, this list is good and so on. We want to like co-collectively select what's going to be the 8s and iterate around that.
Okay. So we'll see how that will work out for you guys. And how did you pick those 8 people specifically out of the now still 30, was it? Or now 20, you said?
Still 30. 20 is going to be in 2 weeks. Yeah. That was a bit tough because I had to choose them early because it's not close. So it's ticket and arrangement and hostel.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not hostel, but I wanted to pick up that early because I wanted to start working together. So I choose the team somewhere in November, I guess, or December. And I wanted to test out some kind of different mindsets and temperaments of players together.
Mhm.
So I choose also two strong pillars of the team from the last year, which were Aretas and Per Castro. Aretas is a former player, Eldar, who have been there for several years, and
Mhm.
Olivier, which is Per Castro, has been in a team for 2 years playing Space Marines usually. And I wanted to add some kind of new blood onto that. So it's going to be Salisia. Salisia is no Alexandre Sacco. He's been playing a lot into a lot of Scrim. So I wanted to add him to know how it's working together with the other players. And then I took people who I think are strong into any international event and really solid in any type of codex they pick. I know they're not going to fail, which is Moyashi and Ashort. And then I bring new kind of two new faces, which called Mathieu Bonnet, which is a really long-term player in our community. Has been playing for Bulgaria team last year, but I know I
Mhm.
want him in France. And Le Bull, which is a player which has been there for several years, but never had the chance to play for France. And the last one is Nico, was our Astra player from last year. So quite eclectic. I wanted to have a bit of new faces, old
Mhm.
guy, and kind of different temperaments. Some are more into defensive play style, some are more macro, some are more gambling things. So I want to see if everything works together with this team.
Yeah, that's quite a mix, and sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
So I would say fingers crossed, but third place after the Polish teams. Anyhow, and were you not tempted to play yourself, or?
Actually, there's two things. First, I have high expectation to what I'm going to require from the player, the AIDS player. And I know that myself, I can't put this effort for myself. I don't have the
Okay.
bandwidth to play as much. I think I want some people who are better on the table and outside the table than me. So I expect more than what I can provide to the team, and I want to put the best situation and best kind of how to say that. I want the player to focus on their play and meta. So I want to provide them as much as possible chance to improve and coach them. So if I know that they got the eighth player that fits, I want to coach them to be even better. And I think that last year, so I've been the two last year in the team, it's kind of a solo path, to improve yourself. And at the last latest, when you need to provide the list, you kind of need to reflect on yourself and your tests and so on. And I think like this year I wanted to test like being kind of a captain coach and just improving the gameplay, improving the list, and just focusing on them to see
Mhm.
that could help the eight players. So no, first I don't have the bandwidth, and I think I have more value to coach them than being on the table.
Okay. Um.
Plus, I can drink beer with Tifus now.
Yes, drinking beer is very important at Warhammer events, as we all know.
Mhm.
Um. So, do you know? I'm not sure if I should ask this question, but Pavel
Go,
asked,
go
"Do you
ahead.
know the difference between a ziemniak and a pyra?"
Egemnia in the Pira.
Yeah.
Pira is the place, but Egemnia is not like your logo.
No, it's both. They're both potatoes. It's just Pyra is a regional. Is the regional name for it, and
Okay.
that's what it's called in the region that we're going to be playing.
Oh damn,
So yeah,
damn.
a little bit of Polish
I have to
digression.
I have to work on my basic.
So how up to the meta are you guys? How do you feel? Do you do a lot of research, like what's hip in the UK and in the US? I mean, yeah, let's stop there.
That um, Miss pause data slates. So
Yes.
usually we were just checking every list we can see, just for the sake of knowing what's happening. We did a lot of tests. The thing is that this year I pushed a bit the team to try some more creative things, and also to push player not to only play one codex.
Mm-hmm.
So events there used to be one codex, I want them to be 2 or 3. So naturally they come with new highs on some codex and try out things because they don't know. And we discover like some units that are useful. So of course we source a lot of things, but the fact is we have a community which is a bit everywhere. We also chat with other team, other member, and so on. I try that we are not too influenced by what everything is doing because I don't like to copy paste.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that sometimes when you bring something in a meta which is a bit aside, could be useful. So we have the core. I think that like everyone, like we say, okay, these codecs, I think we can push them away. We need them.
Mm-hmm.
And for the last one, say, do you want to bring something new? Doing something that's gonna counter the main codexes? Doing something that no one's played because they won't be able to test it. So I would say that we are mostly trying to based on the matrix what is missing, based on the or estimate where we fail, and how can we
Mm-hmm.
compensate that. So that will mean that through our 6, 7, 8 codexes, we need to switch a bit the units, so to compensate that, or go more towards an extreme kind of codex who can handle some codexes and really very bad at others. So I'm not sure that your question was about sourcing meta from other, but we are on many Discord, many chat, and so on. So we see that. But in the end, I think this is experience of testing that matter most.
So you've mentioned creativity a couple of times already. So do you guys really test something obscure? Because nowadays with the internet and so
No,
on, I mean, there usually end up to be like 2, 3 list stops depending on the faction that are just repeating itself over and over again at events. So do you guys retest something more obscure? Do you push people to try out something different? Like, don't use that list specifically, like do a twist on it or something like that. And how has that been working out in Screams, perhaps?
well, I won't say it's something too obscure. I think we can't do that obscure in the V10, to be honest. That's really simple to circle around the same unit and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But when someone come up with a codex and say, I think this has a place in the meta, I want to try it out, we tend to push it and change it just to see he has a place or not. Sometimes he come after 10 guys say this is shit. But at least we tried. So I think it's really easy to know what's the best list on the best codexes. Um, so we kind of try to see what's aside. So on the screams, usually I don't ask the player to test out things which are too creative because I say you have a lot of training for that. We are kind of training between us and so on. When it comes to screams, you can try something, but if you fail, I'm gonna judge you even harder than if you don't. So in scream, we don't try that thing which are too much creative, but sorry, that from my bottle. But in training, we try to think which are a bit different. Yeah.
Okay. Well, lists are still locked, so I won't ask if you're bringing something uh, that creative now, or what would you say is your most creative or weird list?
Yeah,
Unhaunted,
I couldn't
that's
swear in 4 days.
right. So another question from our Discord. Sam is asking: is this event viewed more as an organized scrim for you to test some ideas and players, or are you treating it more seriously and putting your best foot forward, like treating it like a really separate event, not part of WTC prep specifically?
I think I consider it as something serious. I mean, for me, we have the best team in the world, which are not going to be there.
Hmm.
So I'm not going there just to push the guy and say have fun. I say you can have fun after the game, but for the between the game, I want you to be serious. I want you to commit. I want you to be as you would be in WTC. So yeah, I'm taking that seriously, and I'm gonna push the guys to just take that seriously. Don't mean to be rude and being an asshole on the table. Just
Oh, naturally.
consider it not a training. Like you don't come from France up to Poland and so on for 3 days just to mess it up. Just take it seriously. I mean, no, we have a thing that I told that you can try whatever you want. You can do as much training skin and so on. But where you're gonna go into tournament and wear the French uh, t-shirts, you must
Hmm.
act like you're for the French national team, so you don't mess it up. That's the minimum,
Okay.
I guess.
So it's very serious.
Yeah.
Um, and what do you think of the state of the meta right now after the data slate? Do you think it introduced the expected or necessary changes?
I think some of them are good, just to bring some kind of new codex at the forefront. I think it was good to nerf Eldar. To be honest, it was painful. Maybe it was a bit too extensive in some points. I'm an Eldar player, so sorry about that. I like that I've been nerfed, but sometimes I like to have options to go. Sometimes instead of nerfing, we like to boost some other units. Um,
Hmm.
so, but it also, I mean, we have so many resources to open new players. That's okay. I like that they try something with the Drukhari. I said try something. I play many games as Drukhari. That was really cool until they find that if they destroy our transport or they just overwatch us, we just die. But it was also always pleasant to play with Incubi a lot. No, I think they tried to reduce the loss less. They tried. They're still present, a bit less. It's more costly. I think the main codexes are still strong. They bring some new, like they raise from the dead, kind of the custodies.
Hmm.
Some that were middle go up now. So I think we're in a healthy, kind-ish meta. Something might be optimized just to boost up the lowest. I think it's poor ad make, I mean. Maybe the Necron is a bit painful. Maybe CSM is strong. Edgar is going to be powerful as well. But I think there are options what I like in the V10 is whatever codex you have, you never feel like you're being destroyed to death. You just like you can try something. You can just
Hmm.
play the game. And when you get 0-20-0 is really that's a really, really bad matchup or you really mess it up. But you can play with your codex.
Yeah, that's true. And did you have any big events post data slate to like have a chance to observe how the meta is shaping?
No, we didn't. We had some solo, but they are not big enough. But
Hmm.
we just played a lot. We just played a lot in scrims. We just played a lot in TTS to try it out. But we didn't have any team event to test that. Yes, there was some guy who had the event in England, but I think it was previous to data slate. The
The
ITT,
ITT
yeah,
was it happened
before.
after the data slate, but the cutoff was before the data slate. So yeah, it was still all old rules.
Yeah, not bad.
Worst moment to attend a tournament.
Yeah, yes, very well. So we didn't have team event for that. That's why we're doing scrims right now to try that.
Okay, and you've mentioned the ITT. So do like a lot of French people go there? Do you do a lot of abroad tournaments?
So the ITT is kind of weird because it's booked so much in advance that I haven't tried to have a ticket for the French team as they say no, it's full. So it was like 6 or 7 months ago. This year we tried to do a lot more events. I think we planned about 8 or 10 events. So there was the World Cup in Atlanta. The Pyra, it's going to be the ETC, maybe the Home Nation, Alpine Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think we're going to have Bootcamp, maybe it's going to be ETC again and Pyra. And we have a huge event in France, which is called the French Wargame Day, which is about the whole community is going to be there. About, I don't know, it's 400, 500 players, maybe more. But it's the tournament, the solo tournament is about 120, and it's 2v2. It's kind of I don't know. It's not like a hardcore tournament. It's more like the whole community of Warhammer comes to this place.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge gymnasium. Is like as big or maybe bigger than the London GT.
It sounds like it's close. But did I get that correctly? There's a singles event and a 2v2 event happening there?
Yes, this French Wargame Day, there's 2 league of 2v2, or maybe one league, I don't remember. There's 1 league of 2v2, 1v1 is also a league for Warcry, was Blood Bowl, Age of Sigmar, and so on. So it's kind of the biggest event in France that you can have. I think Mashson was there last year.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that was this one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's exciting stuff. And when is French Wargame Day? Is it like
French Wargame Day is at the same moment than the ETC in Netherlands, same weekend, the 16th and 17th of March.
Okay. Next month, right?
Yes, next month.
But you're still sending a team to Netherlands.
We're sending one team to ETC and one team to Netherlands.
Okay. Okie doke. So yeah, a lot more places happening. So how did you hear about Pyra? Did you get invited, or did you like invite yourself? Shall I say? And was there like any incentive to attend this event in particular?
So last year, first off, we had already some contact with I think maybe Pumba or Typhus about that, and we couldn't attend. I don't remember the reason. Maybe it was half availability or half budget or something like that, because you made an event in July, wanted to attend, and we were kind of sad not be able to attend. And when we heard that this is going to be a next edition in February, I said we want to attend this one, because we like the Team Poland. There's also the Belgian team that were our buddies. We like we know most of the players that's coming there, so we're happy to take part of the Pyra Cup. Yeah.
Okay, and what's your relationship with the Team Belgium? I mean, I feel like there are a couple of people that are free flowing between one team and the other.
Well, it's not the same thing. Like, we have a huge community in France. Belgium has maybe a smallest community. It still have a huge community, but let's say that the player that can't be in Team France for whatever reason tend to join as mercenary the Belgian team. So every year we get from free for French player in the Belgian team. But over the year, basically they became friends, and I know they are participating in some of the league in France as well. So it's kind of, yeah, they're our neighbors. So it's kind of the extension of France, let's say, somehow. Or the opposite, I don't know.
No, they just got annexed.
Kind of.
Brought in. Right, so is it much of a commitment for you guys to like attend a tournament abroad? I mean, when selecting your 8 people, was it a challenge to get people willing to go, or out of the 30, or were there more people willing than there were spots?
Maybe you mean for Pyra specifically?
Yeah,
for Pyra. Out of the 30 people, I think 25 wanted to come, so I guess that's okay. I mean, any scrim, I just say, or any tournament, I just propose who wants to come. And basically,
Mm-hmm.
we are more than half, or 15, 20 people wants to come to every event. Then the hardest time is just I need to select and choose who will come for some reason. Someone I want to test someone. I want to see how a team works together. So yeah, most of the time people are really keen on coming and doing team tournaments. We really like team tournaments in France, so abroad is even better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you mentioned you selected team quite a while back.
Yeah.
Did you have any like awareness that this is going to be a post data slate after another data slate? So not that
Mm,
much worked out meta that is going to be there, and did that somehow
yeah.
influence actually the player selection?
Yes and
Like
no.
taking people that are maybe more flexible in terms of factions.
Yes and no, because you have to take some risk.
Mm,
But that's true that out of the 8 people, I know that 5 of them can master 5 to 6 codecs for sure, and be good at that. So the three others are a bit less flexible, but they're really strong in their scope of the field of codexes. And I mean, what remains was Space Marines, where you get always an option. Eldars, where
mm,
I never seen weak in years, and
yeah.
Necrons, where was a bit of a gamble because Necron was the new codex. But yeah, lucky me, let's say. So I got the three guy who are still
Oh,
gonna
it
be
did
strong,
work out.
and the 5 others are super flexible, so that's cool.
Okay, okay. Why did you mention Admech now? Oh well. Right. Anyhow, do you have any final maybe thoughts about Pira itself, about the event? Anything you want to add?
So one thing I really like is the fact that it's a bit like when there was the BTC, the Belgium Team Championship,
Hmm.
when you just pay a fee, you come and you don't think about anything else than just playing because you're there, you're your friends, you have everything included, and that's I think that's really good atmosphere and situation just to focus on the meta and just improve a lot in few time and just get to change a lot of other people. When you come to a tournament, everyone is eating this in his own corner or his own hotel is different. So I'm really looking forward for this weekend because it'll be really cool. Plus, you're gonna exchange with a lot of like-minded and smart people, hopefully. And I know we want to do something similar in France. I know that Manway, that I mentioned, is working into this kind of thing for somewhere later in the year. And I hope we have good news to share also to do this kind of similar event in France. When you just come, you just pay a fee and everything is included. And you just come here to play.
Yeah.
Also,
So
really positive thing, while it's really there are strong rules about painting and modeling and what you see, what you get in France. I heard is a bit more flexible in Poland. So this is great.
yeah. Well, I was actually expecting it to be even more flexible than it is.
It's okay.
Yeah. Uh, on the boot camps, anything goes. There are sometimes armies that don't include a single actual model. So yeah, a Polish
We
school is.
in training last year we did what we call air Warhammer. It's like you play Warhammer but with nothing. You just air playing Warhammer. That guys were just paper, but that
uh,
works.
well, you just need the basis, right? Or
Well,
something in the
in
same
some
shape.
rules, now you need the model apparently, but yeah, the basis should be okay.
Uh, Um, Okay. I think we're gonna slowly wrap up. We've covered Pyra itself. We spoke a little bit about the state of the meta. It's clearly still shaping up, so this does
Yeah,
make for a bit of an exciting event because, well, as you said, you haven't had a proper team event yet. We haven't had one either, so it's going to be interesting to see
that's gonna be
who has
perfect
got
timing. Yeah, yeah. Team event
s-
two
a
weeks
good
after the
team
data
comp.
slate. That's perfect.
Yep.
That's just perfect.
So, guys, please make sure to follow Pyra Cup next weekend. That's on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of Feb.
Mhm.
We'll definitely be posting something from the event. And yeah, stay tuned to the Facebook page of Pyra Cup that will be linked in the video description below. Zika, thank you very much for joining in and having a chat about the event and
Pleasure.
Team France.
My pleasure.
Thanks. Thank you to all our patrons. Thanks to our sponsors, Weyland-Yutani and Army Painter. Please check out the links in the video description. For Weyland-Yutani, we even have an affiliation link. So if you want to buy WTC terrain or some mats, please use that as that helps us grow. And if you like what we do, please like, subscribe, and all of that jazz all around, and consider becoming a Patreon. I've been the Joker, and until next time, bye bye.